Today, Jack and I are cleaning out a Serger. It's an oldie. This one has been in steady work in an alterations shop for 30 years. It's had normal maintenance like cleaning the fuzz out of this area and oiling at the oil ports, but no other deep maintenance. For most of our viewers, this will simply be a look inside the Serger where you haven't seen, and entertaining to see what's going on in there. A few of you may want to try to restore a vintage Serger, and it's at least a starting place for you. We start by taking the base off of the machine, and oh, what a surprise there is inside. But none of this was visible from the outside, nor could the owner get to it to clean it, so our work is cut out for us. Jack is continuing to take various things off of the machine while I start cleaning the base. This video assumes that you know how to get the motor and any electrical parts out of harm's way. The very best thing is to remove them all and plug them back in later. Although Sergers are much alike in mechanical design, the attachment of the electrical parts is highly variable, so you will have to consult your individual model. Also be aware that what we're showing you is suitable for mechanical machines. Yes, they have motors and lights, but they do not have circuit boards, which have to be treated with care and respect that we are not showing in this movie. So the first goal of the day is to get all the plastic parts off of the machine, and I will wash them separately in the sink with Dawn dishwashing detergent. That usually works for me. Then we can go into the mechanical interior and really clean. These are my cleaning implements: an old toothbrush, a cheap dental probe, and a brass brush, chosen because it is less aggressive than a steel brush would be. One also needs some sort of cleaning solvent. I'm using LPS1 because we have long experience with it and are aware that it's safe for all the kinds of materials represented on this machine. There certainly are other things we can use, but this is the one we researched and are pleased with overall. So now begins the long process of loosening all the crud with the solvent and digging it out with the brushes and probes, and doing that over and over and over until everything's clean. It takes some time, a long time, hours, because gradually the solvent continues to work on the dirt, and you continue to see new deposits of it as things brighten up in there. It's getting cleaner. Every view you see looks a little bit brighter and fresher. More things are silvery. Fewer things are dingy. We're getting there. There are a lot of teeny-weeny crevices that have to be cleaned out, so you tend to end up going over the same area over and over, and then testing the action by turning. You'll see at this point we've got the wheel still on there so that I can wiggle it back and forth, and that tends to show us where stiff spots are and where more work is needed. The feed dogs do get a lot of deposits under and around them. It takes a lot of the cleaning product and a lot of time. I had to go back into this area 2 or 3 times to get all the crud out. That's fairly common.
All right, if you'll notice, there's an Allen screw here, and it's pretty obvious that it's holding the position of this rider on this shaft right there, so that you can make adjustments to the throw of the machine as it moves around. And you can see that this has a position it moves in. But now there's a screw right here. There's another screw right there. And if you'll notice, there's no set piece.
There's nothing that they could be setting? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. Now you see the shaft is rotating, especially right here. This is a shaft boss holding the end of the shaft. You can see it sticking out right there. And the shaft rotates inside of there. So this screw, if it was screwed all the way down, would stop the movement of the shaft if it were a set screw. What that is an oil port. This is found a lot on commercial sewing machines. What you should do is open it up and put a couple of drops of light 10-weight oil in there, here, 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 because the shafts are rotating in there, and there's not a bearing, there's just the boss and the shaft. So that's to let you put a couple of drops of oil in to keep that shaft moving smoothly. This is when you know it's right, just like with a garter carriage. You flip it and it cycles around and it keeps moving just a little bit after you get through with it.
And it should be really, really easy to turn even by hand. We had started out with a stiff spot even after it seemed to be clean. But now
if I were the belt, I would be a happy drive belt.
Which means the motor won't be under strain too.
Right.
So we're satisfied it's clean now and running smoothly. Here's a quick look at reassembly. Basically, the pieces go back on in reverse order from how they came off. And in this particular model, it's pretty easy to see. It's not all that finicky. The hardest thing was getting that little front door to sit properly and open and shut smoothly. There's a little sliding adjustment on that, and now we have it exactly right. So, time to try it out. Oh my goodness. That runs so nicely. You can see it wobble a little because I'm actually sewing with one hand and filming with the other, so my control is imperfect, and even so, look at it go.